Hey everybody, my name is Brenna, and today I'm doing for you a tag video. This tag was made by Megan Tennant. It's a holiday tag for writers. She made this tag a few years ago, I believe, for an event she calls In December. It's a month-long celebration of indie authors. I'll put the link to her channel down below where she talks about it. The basis of the tag is you make a bingo board, and then there's 25 possible questions to the tag. Now you don't have to answer all 25, you just answer them until you get bingo. So to save some time, I have already randomly generated all of my numbers, and then I will go in order and answer the questions, which are questions that are about either my writing, my work in progress, or just me as an author, or my characters or something like that. Let's get into this tag. It's been, well, I guess it's since the AuthorTube newbie tag, since I did a tag, and that was a couple months ago. So I do like tag videos, and I want to do something kind of Christmassy or holiday because it is December. Here we go. The first number is 7, so I'm going to go on my board here. I'm going to X through 7. Number 7 is feast. What's your favorite food-related scene? In Into the Shadows, it takes place between early fall and then on through the end of December. And in that book, they do a holiday party for Thanksgiving. It's not Thanksgiving themed or anything. It's the holidays. They've got the week off work, and then they throw a big party at, their place of employment. And in that scene is where you get to meet a character who's been mentioned multiple times in the book, but you've never actually seen. And it's the first time that you meet them, and a few other bits and bobs come out during that scene. And the next number is 2. And I did do this, by the way, until I got all 25 numbers. So I'm not going to go through the whole all 25, I don't think. But we'll see. And I made this little board myself. I know she had one that you could use, but I wanted to make one myself. And these aren't in any particular order. I just thought of random numbers and then put them in here. And considering I'm not real good at this kind of thing, I think my journal, wow, I can't speak words. I think that my board turned out pretty good. So the next number is 2. The second question is Rudolph. Do you have any furry writing companions? Bonus points for showing them on film. I do. I have a cat who has been in multiple videos. He usually leaves me alone unless I start writing or something, and then he kind of makes his way in. I will have to insert a picture of him. He was in the room with me, but I had to leave and go get something, and when I came back, he left the room, and then I shut the door. Next one is 15. Oh, we've got 2. We'll see. 15. Wrapping. What character would spend way too much time wrapping presents because they want it to look perfect? I'm gonna say the one that I think would spend the most time on it would probably be Ember. The main character of Into the Shadows is Belle, and Ember is a character that she meets in the book, and they do become very good friends. And she also happens to work for the Gravity Inc. that Belle ends up working for. And I feel like she would want to do a really good job at wrapping the gifts and making them just look so whenever she's giving them out. So we'll go with her. Next is 5. Question 5 is sleigh bells. What music do you listen to when writing? I think I've talked about this before in my vlogs when I was doing NaNoWriMo. Mostly it depends on what I'm writing. If I'm alone in the house and nobody's here, sometimes I don't even turn anything on. If there are people here, or if I need to really get into a scene, I will listen to, I'm a big fan of just background music, right? It's like when I wrote Into the Shadows, I listened to almost exclusively rain sounds or fireplace, the wood crackling and like a wind with the rain, just ambient sounds like that. If I try to listen to a song with words while I'm writing, a lot of times I'll stop writing and just listen to the song. So usually if I'm writing, I'm not listening to anything with words. Because it is an urban fantasy and there are action fight scenes, I do like to listen to some kind of action soundtrack almost, or something just like dramatic. What I do is I type it into YouTube and I look up dramatic action music or something like that, and stuff will pop up, and that's when I need to kind of ramp up my brain to write those big scenes. But most of the time it's just general quiet ambient sounds. The book that I wrote for Nano this year took place beside the ocean, so I was listening to ocean waves whenever they were beside the beach. Next is 25. Naughty or nice. Which character was on the naughty list but Santa liked them and took them off? Probably the main character of the Belle Dorn series, Belle. Belle would be on the naughty list because she's got not really a dark past, but kind of a gray past. She ran away from home when she was about 13 and has lived on the streets most of her life. So she spent her early years pickpocketing and stealing from stores, and even in the book she does steal and pickpocket. When times are hard, she just reverts back to those actions. Her morals aren't straight black and white. She does have some, like, she's not going to steal from somebody that needs it more than she does, but she has like a little bit of Robin Hood in her. She like steals from the rich and gives to the poor, and she's poor, so she gives to herself. So next we have 8. For 8 we have Santa Baby. Which of your characters could romance presents out of Santa? Rocket. In Into the Shadows, there's a character, his name is Ricket, but his nickname is Rocket because he's a fire mage. He's very cocky and sure of himself. He feels like he kind of has a way with the ladies, like he's very, that's just the kind of character that he is. So I think that he would try to romance Santa for some extra presents. Definitely Rocket. Next is 4. Oh, we're almost here on this one. Elves. Do you have any writing helpers you'd like to shout out? Emotional support maybe, or a critique partner? Anyone who helps you from the shadows. Anyway, I've said this before, my husband is my main critique partner. He reads the first draft of every book. He also reads the last draft of every book, and several in between. I think he read Into the Shadows 5 or 6 times, just like I did. We read it a whole bunch of times. And he is the one that I bounce ideas off of. We actually work together to plot out the entire series arc for the story. And when it comes to talking about the magic system and stuff like that, he's very good at helping me narrow it down and center my focus on the important things and not to go off on tangents, and to make sure that the magic in the world makes sense. And he also helps me make sure that it can't just be completely easy for the characters and then there's no cost. He's just my main sounding board, and he's the one that always helps me, and he listens to me whenever I start doubting myself, and he encourages me. And most definitely my husband, he's a huge support. For me, he's not in the shadows. He's very much in the forefront of helping me do this. Next we have 19, and the question for 19 is Santa's beard. Who's your oldest character and around how old are they? My series doesn't really have any older characters. It centers, at least in the first book, it centers around Belle, who's in her late 20s, and the people that she encounters, and it's all a group of people that are all around the same age as she is. I'd say the oldest one would be Alex or Rocket. Both of them are a few years older than Belle. They've both done things, but neither of them are very old. They're both in like their early 30s, I think, is as old as they are. There are older characters that are introduced later, but in the first book that I wrote that's out now, there's not really any older characters that have a significant part. There's people that are mentioned, but not that have like a significant part. And then 18, we're never gonna get there. But 18, Blizzard. What's your favorite weather to write in? Hands down, rain. I think almost all authors will say that they love to write in the rain. Some like to go outside in sunshine and write, I'm sure, but for me, I live in a home, we have a tin roof, and I love it when it rains, and I can just crack the window just a touch to get the sound off of the tin roof. I love it. I love writing to rain. I think it's great. It could rain all day, every day, and I would be ecstatic. 14. We're still not there. No bingos for me. 14. Santa Claus is coming to town. Is your protagonist naughty or nice? If you have multiple books or multiple protagonists, you can do this question multiple times. I've already answered this question earlier. My main protagonist in the Beldorin series, which is the only one that I've got out, Beldorin, and she would definitely, she's a naughty character, but she is a nice person, so she's a little of both. But on the list, you know, originally she would be on Santa's naughty list because she does steal and she lies a lot, but she's doing it all out of self-preservation, so it doesn't make her a horrible person, just, you know, different. Belle would be on the naughty list, except that Santa would like her, so he would give her a gift anyway, because he would realize she's doing the best that she can. The next number we have is 12, and 12 is holiday parties. Do you have a log line prepared for when someone asks you about your book, or do you run and hide? Or do you have a masterful plan of diversion the rest of us can use? The only people that know that I've written a book are my immediate family. Nobody else knows that I've written anything except a few close friends. And so, aside from the fact that I don't go to holiday parties because I'm an introvert and I don't like to leave my house, but if somebody asks me about my book, I just say that it's an urban fantasy series with magic and witches and mages and shapeshifters and all kinds of fun stuff. And that's usually where I leave it. I don't go into detail about the plot or anything. That's just kind of my general. It's an urban fantasy series with mages and witches and shapeshifters. Next we have number 3. We're filling it out, but we haven't got bingo. Oh no, we did get bingo. 3 is bingo. Bingo! This will be the last question. I might film the rest of them and see how long I've been filming, and then we'll see. 3. Milk and cookies. What's your favorite writing snack? Bonus if it's milk and cookies. It's not milk and cookies. My favorite writing snack, I don't generally snack when I'm writing, unless I'm just actively hungry, but usually I stop, eat, and then go back to writing. I like to snack on, if I am going to snack, I'll snack on cashews. I drink Pepsi, which is not a snack, but, you know, it's kind of filling. You're just kind of hungry and you drink something, you know, the liquid settles in your stomach. We'll keep going. 21, Snow Angel. Which of your characters is most likely to make a snow angel and which is most likely to be wishing they were on a beach instead? Of course I'm going to get one that I don't have an answer to. Rocket would probably be the one making the snow angels because as a fire mage, his internal temperature is higher than most humans are. So he may not actually get to make the snow angel, but he could lay and like move his arms and then he would melt the snow underneath him, and then when he stands up there'll be a bare spot that looks like an angel. Wishing they were on the beach. Maybe Ember, because just because. No real reason, but I kind of get a feel from her that she would enjoy the beach for sure. And then 6, Christmas lights. What character would be most likely to use Christmas lights inappropriately, such as to tie someone up, shock someone, or to rig up an explosive, you name it? Again, Rocket. He's the mischievous one of the group. He would be the one using the lights inappropriately, most definitely. Then 10, Santa's bag. If you could tell Santa one item that should be given to every writer everywhere, what would it be? He should give us all a laptop. A nice laptop with an external hard drive so that we could back up all of our work on. That would be great. I'd also like a pair of those writing gloves. I think I do. I don't know. I'm not sure if they would bother me to try to write in them, but my hands get really cold. I'm cold-natured, so I'm cold most of the time anyway. And when I write, you know, having my hands up, all the blood runs out of them. My hands are usually really cold when I'm typing, and I think I would like the gloves. 16, cutting down Christmas trees. Do you edit your manuscript in digital format or print it out? The first run through, I always do it digitally. After I write the novel, I give it some time to just sit and I step away from it and then I come back. And always the first couple run throughs are always done digitally. And then after that, after it's formatted, I send it off to get the proof copy. Number 20 is Gingerbread House. Who's your handiest or craftiest character? That would definitely be Ember. She has unique skills and she would definitely be the craftiest 13. Santa's list. How many characters are in the main cast of your most recent work in progress or publication? My most recent publication, there is basically 6. My most recent work in progress, we've got 8, I think. 9. 9? I don't know. I think the one that I wrote for Nano this year, I think that there were probably 9. It's the same world, it's the same people, just adding a couple new ones into the mix. Number 1, Nightmare Before Christmas. What's a writing or book release mistake that still haunts you? Book release mistake. I released my book during Nano, which was fine. I didn't have trouble from releasing it in Nano, even though I was writing a book. But I do wish that I had done more promo for the book. But most people say that they wish they'd done more promo. But with my budget that I had to put my book out, I couldn't really afford to do more promo. So it's not like a mistake that haunts me. It's just one of those things that it kind of annoys me that I wish I'd had some money that I could put into the book to kind of get the word out there about it. It just wasn't in the budget. Number 9, ho ho ho. What's a line or scene that makes you or your readers laugh? Most anything from Rocket, I think, because I think that Rocket is a funny character. But a lot of times things that make me laugh don't make my husband laugh. But some of the stuff that Rocket does is laugh out loud for my husband too. So, Rocket. And then 11 is eggnog. What's your favorite writerly drink, and most importantly, do you ever spike it with alcohol? My favorite writerly drink is Pepsi or water. And I don't spike water. I actually don't particularly like alcohol, and I don't really drink alcohol. I think that wine tastes like cough medicine. I have tasted beer, but to me, beer tastes like it smells. It's horrible. And just anything else, I just don't care for. I don't like coffee, and I don't like alcohol. I am the strangest writer out there. Not really, but sometimes I feel it. So, 24. Santa's workshop. Show us your writing space or a picture of your writing space. Bonus if it's a disaster zone. It depends on where I'm writing. If I'm up in my office, which is where I'm at right now, it's not really that bad. But if I am downstairs at, like, I have a gaming computer, which I do my gaming, and if I'm watching YouTube videos and what have you, that's what I do downstairs. That one is a disaster zone, so we're not going to show it. This one up here is not great. I was taking Instagram pictures before I did this video, so I can show you. Now this is my desk. We'll have to, we go over here, can you get a better look? I don't know. There's not much on it, but yeah, my desk doesn't really have hardly anything on it because I'm only in this room generally to write and record videos. I don't spend a lot of time in here otherwise. It's just a little home office. And the biggest mess on it is the one that I've made on it today. Then 17. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Which of your characters is most likely to steal cookies or gifts from Santa? Belle. Belle would be 100% the person that would steal the gifts or the cookies. As we've talked about, her moral compass is not set on true north. 22, Silent Night. Which character refuses to talk to you as a writer? Basically a character who is hard for you to connect with and write for. I think it's kind of difficult for me to write as Alex because what I have in mind for his character to be and what I want him to be is not what he's coming across as on the page. And at a certain point, my husband was just like, you need to kind of give up this is what I'm going to write him as, because he's not coming off that way. This is the way he is. So I've started to write him that way, which is not my first idea of how I wanted to write him, but he has a mind of his own, and that's not how he wanted to be written. And last but not least, traditions. What holidays or traditions exist in your story's world? If you have too many to list, what's your favorite? Like I said before, my book is set in our current world, but just a world that uses magic. So they have the same holidays that we have. But my favorite would probably be Christmas, because Christmas is my favorite holiday. It has been since I was little. I just love Christmas. That was a holiday tag. If you're a writer and you would like to participate, then consider yourself tagged. But if you do make this video, then please tell me down below, and I'll be more than happy to come watch. If you like this video, please leave it a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more content from me. And if you're interested in my debut novel, Into the Shadows, it is currently on Kindle Unlimited, so you can read it for free if you have it. It's also available exclusively on Amazon through print and ebook. I will also leave the links down below for my Instagram and Facebook if you would like to follow me on any other platform. And until next time, bye!